Hey y'all, the hope for these videos is just to give you some historical context and to point out some main themes that you will encounter while you're reading 1 Thessalonians. As you've probably noticed, and looking at the reading plan, you'll have a few verses from 1 Thessalonians every day, paired with a few other passages that we've provided for you. So for this week, we will be covering all of chapter 1 through chapter 2, verses 8. For some general context of 1 Thessalonians, it was written to the believers in the city of Thessalonica. Thessalonica was the headquarters for the Romans in Macedonia. It was also a port city, making its inhabitants very likely were very wealthy and rich, which makes sense of why in chapter 2, verses 3 through 5, Paul says that he didn't come to take advantage of them or their wealth, but rather he came only to bring the good news of the gospel. We know the history of the Thessalonian church very clearly because it's recorded in Acts chapter 17. There we learn that the first converts were actually, the gospel was shared with them from Paul and Silas whenever they came through the first time. And after sharing the gospel, many came to know Jesus and believe in him as king. But when word of this got to Caesar, he was not happy because he heard that people were choosing to follow Jesus over himself. This led to persecution and forced Paul and Silas to leave the city. Therefore, the reason for this letter is because Paul is writing back to those believers to remind them of truths and to encourage them in the faith. So I hope this gives a little context for your reading as we kick off this reading plan of 1 Thessalonians.